Hey everyone, today we are going to make kokedama. Kokedama is basically just a ball of soil, and you can wrap it in moss or you can wrap it in twine and plant an ornamental plant in it. Kokedama originates in Japan and it's a very popular garden style there. Before we get to this video, two things. I can't believe that I found this little baby birds of paradise in a 4-inch pot. You know that I love getting juvenile plants and watch them grow, so I was so excited about this find. We're not going to be using that one in the kokedama though, because it's not an ideal plant for that. Instead, we're going to be using a staghorn fern. And before we get to this video, please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below. Kokedama is very ideal for trailing plants and plants who like to have their soil completely soaked when you water them. Because at the end of the day, you'll be making a ball of soil, wrap it in moss or wrap it in twine, and the best way to water it is to soak it in water. All right, so what you're gonna need is a good organic potting soil and peat moss. I did mine 50-50 ratio and it worked really well. And you have your plant that is gonna like being in a kokedama, and some moss and some twine. And I also have some wire as well, some gardening wire. So what we're gonna do first is mix together the peat moss and the potting soil and get it really wet. You're gonna have to make it quite wet because it needs to stick together really well. And don't worry too much about putting too much water in here, because you can always squeeze it out while you form the ball. Remove any large lumps. Gonna add a little bit more water. For the size of the ball, you should aim for a similar size as the nursery pot that the plant is already in. That would be kind of an ideal size of a ball. And it's very good to pick plants that love being root bound, because they can last in a kokedama for 2 to 3 years. And you know you have to redo it once the roots start sticking out. Just gonna start forming the ball. Can squeeze any excess water out there. Not too much though, gotta make sure it sticks really well together. I found that 1 cup potting soil and 1 cup peat moss makes a very ideal size for a 4-inch plant. Just squeeze that excess water out of there. Allows it to form really well. And you know that your soil ball is ready when you're able to throw it and catch it without it breaking. You can just place the ball in the bowl while we prep the plant. Just wanna take it out of its nursery pot and get rid of all of the soil, almost all of the soil that is already on the plant. Next, you want to take your soil ball and split it in half. And then we're gonna put the plant here and the other side of the ball and form it back together around the plant. Now we got this nice little soil ball for our little plant. Throw that out there. Put it here. So I have some preserved moss here that I've pre-moistened. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with. And it's best when you get a nice sheet of the moss. Just turn it inside out. I'm not gonna need all this moss, but I just laid it out here. Now we'll take our little ball here, Put it in the middle. See if we have enough moss to wrap around. Just aim for enough moss that it will cover the ball. And then we can rip off any excess moss that we're not going to use. So what you can do now is you can either use a gardening wire to secure the moss around the plant and give it some structure and some security, or you could wrap a twine around it. It's kind of like, it's really up to you and your aesthetic. I already have made one kokedama that is just a moss ball, so for this one I want to wrap it in some nice twine. Just make sure when you wrap the twine around the plant that you don't strangle it. You can create any kind of pattern you might like. I am just gonna go a little bit unorganized route just to secure all of that moss in place. And along the way, you can form the ball so it looks the shape that you like, or most like a ball. And there you have it, your first kokedama. So what you can do is you can display these just like this on maybe a piece of wood or some nice fancy dish that you have, or you can put some more twine or a fish line if you don't like the twine to be visible and hang it up. I hope you enjoy watching this video learning how to make kokedama. I think it's such a fun and unique way to display your plants, and honestly it's so much fun having a bunch of moss balls hanging from the ceilings with a bunch of plants in them. It really makes your place look a little bit earthy, and I love the smell of moss. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.